The stock market is supposed to be a representation of the health of an economy. Today, it is nothing of the sort. It's just a predefined movie being played for us to argue over, to give people jobs, and most importantly, to siphon wealth from the general public like any casino would. But if we don't dig quite as deep, we can see what the Fed is doing and know that every single word they say, never mind their actions, create wild swings in the market, up or down. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Let's look at the Fed and their talk causing a 400 drop in the stock markets right here. It's very interesting to say the least. U.S. equities closed sharper on Friday as concerns the Federal Reserve might raise interest rates this month loomed the following comments made by key Fed officials. Okay, all right. So every time there's a meeting and the anticipation of that meeting, there's tiny little tidbits of information get released. In those pieces of information, those words, forget about the actions, nothing's been done. In those little words that they've said, the market can move, as in this case here, 400 points in a single trading session because of that. The Fed is clearly on a choreographed path. It wants to raise rates this year. Wants to. And what the market is trying to recalibrate is whether that means September or December. All right. So let's think about it. Last hike was about it's coming close to a year ago. And if you have to think about it, it basically has not gone up in a decade. If you really look at it, 0.25%, not even really 0.25%. And, even if they do raise it, let's say to between 0.5 and 0.75, it's near zero. It's still nothing compared to, factoring in inflation and everything else. But, this is the way they got to do things. You also had some lingering disappointment from Mario Draghi, and they talk about everything that happened today and why this, all the specifics. Look, if you want that, look at Jim Cramer. Okay, if you want all the specifics. I'm not getting into that. I'm just here to note what I think is important. As the week drew to a close and the Fed's, quote, quiet period before the meetings was about to settle in, investors recoiled over the news that the central bank's most dovish official will be delivering a previously unannounced speech on Monday. All right, so that anticipation of the speech has caused the concern within the markets. I'm trying to keep a straight face here. The concern within the market drops. The news sent a chill through the markets on Friday, with the major stock averages taking a beating and short-term government bond yields and the US dollar moving higher. Okay, think about this. Nothing at all has happened. No action has happened whatsoever. Yet the market drops. All the major US indices drop significantly. You have a major effect in short-term government bonds and in the US dollar. So basically, trillions of dollars are being shifted around. And what happened? Tell me what happened. The truth is that nothing has happened. That's how insignificant the fundamentals are these days. What about the supply and demand? What about, let's think about, one of the companies, 3M, okay, or Apple, or anything else. What happened with their companies today? Was there mergers and acquisitions? Did they post some profits? Did they release a new product that maybe has been good, or anything else? Does it even matter? No. It doesn't matter, because the Federal Reserve hasn't even said anything, but they're expected to say they may raise interest rates. And just the thought of interest rates going up by that fraction of a percent scares the you-know-what out of the markets. This is a joke. It's ridiculous to even think that it would be possible. Even, let's say, 15 years ago, this kind of stuff didn't happen. You could trace that back in all the charts, look at the news, look at the information. This kind of stuff didn't happen. It's really leading up to the financial crisis where this garbage started to occur. I just wanted to bring this up here. Apple is rethinking what it plans to do about its self-driving cars, just as other big tech companies appear ready to plow ahead with competing efforts. Essentially, they're saying they laid off dozens of people, all in with this whole autonomous cars that they're trying to build. It's sort of like a hidden secret, just like any other Apple sort of secret, quote-unquote secret. It's either leaked out intentionally or it just gets leaked out regardless. And everybody knows that they're working on some sort of autonomous car initiative. They're not the only ones. Uber has been spotted with the same thing. Look at what's happening. All these cars are driving themselves these days. But what I would say is that, look, it's not all wonderful. There's a lot of growth that needs to happen, a lot of learning that needs to happen. What will happen, though, is that they will hit the market before things are actually ready. Forget about all the reasons you don't want a robot driving your car. All I'm going to say is just, let's take this at the Jim Cramer level here. You're bringing these onto the market too soon, you're going to have problems. Look at what happened with Tesla. It's a big mistake, but it's all about corporate profits. If you can get yours onto the market first, you're going to make that profit up front, and should a catastrophe happen, then you'll worry about it at that point. All right. The U.S. House of Representatives passed legislation on Friday that would allow the families of the victims of the September 11th, don't say 9/11, to sue Saudi Arabia's government for damages, despite the White House threat to veto the measure. So here it is, passing legislation so they're able to sue. What does that mean? That means that they being the Saudis, had an instrumental role on what happened. Wow. To me, this is huge. This is huge news. To read it, to see it happen. Let's see if the emperor will decide to veto that. I don't know. Regardless, you know that probably 90% of all the juicy details are redacted, but it would still give us something, and I do believe that it's important to see what is in these pages, even if it is a whitewash, which it probably has a lot to do with that. I know that there are deep connections between the U.S. government and the Saudi government. There's no doubt about that. But we also see some straining that has happened over the years. I would definitely say that there has been, not the under George Bush and even George Bush's father there, what we had seen is stronger ties to the Saudis. And I would say that in recent years under Obama, it hasn't been as well. I don't think that necessarily the president has anything to do with it. I'm just noting sort of the time frames there. Just interesting to say the least. I'd like to see what happens with this bill. If people start suing, what the Saudis do. They did threaten, make some big threats. I don't know if they're actually going to go ahead with any of that. But interesting to say the least. I thought I'd bring it to you. I can't post this article here in the description, unfortunately, anything to do with this type of information. So what I would suggest is just, if you haven't seen it on your own, just go to your search engine and just type it in. You will find it. It is all over there. This happens to be from Reuters, but the information is everywhere. The reason I can't post this information is anything to do with war, anything to do with 9/11. Don't say it too loud. basically gets YouTubers in trouble now. So I can talk about it verbally, but I can't actually write it anywhere in there. That's all I wanted to note for that. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. When you give me thumbs up, it helps push these videos higher up into the search rankings. If you found the video informative, I know you'll find my book, The Money GPS, even more informative. You can actually flip through the book. Head over to Amazon where they have this feature called Look Inside. That allows you to flip through the pages of the book to see if you like it. Take care. If you're still here, you're a true fan, I want to thank each and every single one of you, and I do try to do this anyway, regularly, whether it's through the comments, through the emails, in personal consultations, whether this has been through any means, emails, everything. I want to thank especially those who have been donating to me. I don't ask for donations. I have my links down below because so many people have said, how do I donate to you? How do I donate to you? So I put the links there, but I'm never asking for it. I don't want to do that. But what I would say to you is that I'm so appreciative of that. If you purchase my book, if you use any method, in fact, to support me, I am truly appreciative. If you don't want to buy anything, if you give me a thumbs up, that supports me, and I really appreciate that very much. Put a comment down below. That supports me. Subscribe to the channel. That supports me. So any way you can do that, I truly do appreciate that. Thank you very much.